Hello, Muses. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Melissa's Muse. I've been wanting to make these videos for a very long time, have my own YouTube channel, but I could never get up the gumption to do it. I am a world-class procrastinator, and maybe it really isn't even procrastination. It's probably just fear of failure, because, you know, everybody's afraid to fail. And so I just decided to take the leap and do it. So here's my new channel, Melissa's Muse, and I'm just gonna talk about all kinds of things. I am an indie author. I write science fiction and fantasy. I'm a wife, a mother, a grandmother. I have 6 grandchildren. I am an artist. I love to paint. I use usually acrylic and watercolor. My first love is writing, of course. I love gardening. I hope to one day be a homesteader. I also want to travel the world, so I don't know if that goes together. Probably not, because then who would take care of my animals? So I gotta figure that out. Maybe I'll travel the world first and then get my homestead. I don't know, but I've always wanted to travel since I was a little tiny kid. My dad had this giant atlas, and it was full of maps, and I would literally spend hours laying on the floor, going over the map, tracing all of the roads with my fingers, making all these plans about how I was going to travel the world. And it hasn't happened yet, but I still have time. I hope. Anyway, so the things that I'm going to be talking about on this channel are probably things that are interesting to a lot of people, and I just want to bring you along on this journey of life that we're all experiencing, and hopefully I can impart some words of wisdom, or if not wisdom, some encouragement. Maybe I can show you a way of looking at things that you haven't considered yet, or if you share your comments down below, maybe you can share an outlook that I haven't considered yet. We're all a community and we all help each other out. But like I said, I'd like to talk about gardening and homesteading, traveling. I hope in the future to be doing some kind of like exploring, city exploring, things to do, restaurants, where to eat. I also want to explore some issues, some more serious issues like mental health, trauma, recovery, because these are all things that I have experienced in my life, and I'll be talking about the things that have helped me, especially in the last 6 years, and maybe it will help some of you too. I'll also be talking about, I'll be doing writing vlogs, talking about my writing, my works in progress, stories that I'm working on currently, some other writing projects that I have going on. I'll also be talking about real estate, because as you can see here, probably from the background, you see that I am in a camper. So a couple of months ago, it's been almost 3 months ago now, we finally finished our 7-year-long renovation on a really big fixer-upper. Well, I mean, the house wasn't big, but it was a big project because it was a really bad fixer-upper. And we just did a little bit nights and weekends when my husband had some extra money from his job and his full-time job, and when we had time. And we finally finished this 7-year reno, and we sold our house, which, looking back, was probably not the best idea, because especially here in the Midwest, you cannot buy another house, certainly not for what it's worth. So we've been living in our, luckily, thank goodness, I'll also be talking about gratitude and how important that is to keeping you sane, because it's keeping me relatively sane. I'm very grateful that we have this camper, and it's a 29-foot fifth wheel, and that's what we've been living in for about the past 3 months now. I'm also grateful for our daughter and our son-in-law, because we're parked in their driveway, much to the chagrin of their neighbors. So we've got the city breathing down our neck to get out of here now. But I'm telling you, and you guys probably already know, the real estate market is absolutely insane. And even having good credit, an excellent job, with long job history and a big chunk of cash, you still cannot buy a house. You need some kind of otherworldly intervention, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're still looking, and we've got some plans coming up, so I will be covering that on this channel. Real estate, buying, selling, renovations, home improvements, things like that. Fun stuff. I also would like to explore exercise, and especially how it helps with mental health. And so I'll be starting a new exercise regime, I guess you would say. I don't know. I don't want to look at it like that, because I have like zero follow through. I have been exercising since I was, I don't know, in 6th grade. Started with jazzercise. Yeah, that ages me. But anyway, I want to start looking at it a different way, take a different approach, and hopefully I can impart some knowledge to other people who are maybe struggling with the same thing, keeping an exercise routine. I'll also be talking about RV living, because we are full-time RVers now, even though we're not traveling around. I think when I first thought of living full-time in an RV, it seemed really glamorous. Like, oh yeah, that sounds like traveling to me. Well, we've been to exactly one place, and that's our daughter and son-in-law's house. Not very glamorous, but I do get to see my grandsons every day, so that's a plus. But I'll be talking about RV living, some of the challenges, but some of the good points too, and always trying to keep positive outlook. I also want to explore healthy cooking and eating, cheap meal prep, but still being healthy. We're going to be we have been the last couple of weeks, really trying to tighten our belts, I guess you can say. Probably not a very good euphemism, maybe. When it comes to grocery prices, we've stopped shopping at Kroger because of their price gouging. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I really don't care about all their woes when you see that this giant corporation makes such a huge profit and we're paying for it. So I don't shop at Kroger anymore. And it's the last 2 weeks, it's cut our grocery bill in half. So there's some brand names that I have to switch, and I'm okay with that, because I'm tired of getting stepped on. The little guy is always getting stepped on, and I'm tired of it. So I'm going to find other ways to save money, to live a more frugal lifestyle, but still, I don't want to feel the want. I don't want to feel like, I'm so poor, and because that's the whole another mindset that you don't want to get into, because that's never leads to good things. So I'll be talking about cost-effective ways to just everyday life. I'll also be talking about meditation and spirituality and living a spiritual life, because that has all been a huge huge part of my healing from trauma. I'll also be covering, see, all these things are things that I'll be learning along the way, and as I learn them, you'll be learning them with me. So hopefully with your comments below, we can all have this community and help each other out. Things that I want to learn is finding friends. I mean, I don't think a lot of adults talk about it very much. And especially being a writer, that's a pretty isolating profession. Like, we're alone, we write. We're alone. I don't work outside the camper. I don't work outside the home. I do my writing here, and it's pretty isolating, and it can get lonely. But I don't think that adults are talking about how to make friends. Like, how do you make friends when you're an adult? And I'll talk about and some other and some forthcoming videos about my past and how it's led up to where I am now. And that, of course, has a lot to do with not having any a network or a community right now. So I am going to be expanding my horizons and looking for that community, looking for that network, looking for those relationships, looking for those friendships. And I just turned 54, so in midlife, to have such a huge change, have such a huge lifestyle change, it's pretty daunting. But I'm going to be learning these things along the way, sharing what I learn, sharing what works, sharing what doesn't work, sharing some ideas that I have, or like I said, comment down below. We can all share what we know and share our information, share our encouragement, because things have been real bleak in the world the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. Things have been really dark, and I'm tired. I'm tired of the negativity, I guess. So I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to feed fear or hatred or anything. So I want to be a positive voice in all of the crazy screaming in this world. So hopefully I can do that, and hopefully I can help people find their gratitude, find their joy, and any little bit of joy wherever you can find it. And hopefully that's what this channel will do. I'm just going to be talking about things in my life. I've got some big changes coming up, and I'd like to share it with people and find out, you know, hopefully I can help with other people who are going through the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of people right now who are having a difficult time finding a home. And I'm not just talking about people who are looking for real estate to buy. I'm talking about renters. Rent has gone up significantly, and it's scary, because when we first realized that it was going to be very, very hard, if not impossible, to buy a house, especially in this area, the Kentucky, Indiana area that I am in, we looked into renting, and that wasn't an option. Like, renting is not an option. So thank goodness for this camper. Thank goodness. I'm very grateful for, what we call her, Bessie. Her name is Bessie. Thank goodness for Bessie. But anyway, these are the things that I'll be talking about, and like I said, hopefully we can all encourage each other. So leave a comment below. You can find me on all of the social media I think I'm on everything. I'm under Melissa E. Beckwith, Beckwith. I'm most active on Facebook. But I also have a Patreon page if you want to support my writing. I write a original short story or a collection of poetry every month. There's 4 different levels that you can subscribe to, so whatever you can afford, and you get either a short story or a collection of poetry every month. And at the end of the year, I will bind up all of the poetry and the short stories into one anthology, and that will also go to my Patreon supporters, and that is patreon.com, patreon.com/ Melissa E. Beckwith, MELISSAE Beckwith, BECKWITH. So please click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, and look for my next video. Bye.